morning, students. Today I am explaining a lesson in social science. It is equally important for PU economics students also. The name of that lesson is Public Finance, Tax, Public Expenditure and Budget. Public Finance, then Tax, Public Expenditure, Budget. All these are very important topics in economics. This is included in social science also. So you should listen. It is only I will finish within 30 minutes. So you should listen well. Firstly, we can see what is public finance. It is very important branch of economics. It is very important in economics. Public finance explains the total income and expenditure of the government and how they are spending it, how they are adjusting or how they are spending for getting its desired result or getting its maximum result. Public finance is a branch of economics. It deals with or it explains or it describes the revenue and expenditure of the government. It explains about the revenue and expenditure of the government and how that revenue and expenditure is already adjusted to get the maximum result or to get the desired result. That is called as this public finance. Private, you can say public finance, private finance, what is it? Personal finance. That is your personal expenditure and income. Your personal expenditure and our personal income and expenditure is personal finance. This is public finance. So we can see that there is an increase in the public expenditure for the last few years. We can say what is the reason of this increase in public expenditure. We know that our country is a developed country and moreover it is an underdeveloped country. So the main difference between the developed and underdeveloped countries is that really we want to satisfy the needs of the people. We are a democratic country, so it is the duty of the government to satisfy all the needs of the people. So in order to satisfy the needs of the people, the government has to undertake various social programs. Many programs should be undertaken by the government. That is the important thing. For example, construction of road, railways, dams, canals, then irrigation facilities, schools, government schools, all these facilities and defense expenditure, all these are incurred or should be incurred by the government only. So public expenditure is increased largely for the last few years because it is collective. Government has to satisfy the collective wants of the people. The government has to satisfy the collective wants of the people. So it is only natural that the government is spending a huge amount for the construction of railway, then roads, transport, canals, bridges, and some other hospitals, many other big projects. They want to meet their expenditure. So the total expenditure of the government is increased. Moreover, agriculture, for agriculture and the industrial purpose also. Industrial purpose, agricultural development is very important thing because India is an agricultural country. 70% of the people are relying or depending on this agriculture. So agricultural development is very important aim or it is very important objective of the government. So in order to satisfy the needs or in order to satisfy the farmers, the government has to spend a huge amount for agricultural purpose. As a result, we can say that there is an increase in the public expenditure for the last few years. Once more I am explaining. There are many reasons which caused to increase the public expenditure for the last few years. First one is that the government has to meet the collective wants of the people. The government has to meet the collective wants. It has to solve the collective wants of the people. Then another one is that industrial progress should be done. Industrial progress should be done. So the government should incur a huge expense for making industrial progress. Next one is that the agricultural development is very important. It is very crucial or it is very important things required for a country like India, agricultural country. Because 70% of population is dependent on agriculture. So government is spending a huge amount for the development of agriculture. Then socio-economic activity. Socio-economic activity is also another thing. Many overhead. Social, that means construction of road, canals, etc. Bridges, canals, roads, hospitals. All these things are also another thing. So government expenditure is increased largely due to this reason. Government expenditure. The expenditure, what is government expenditure? It is the total revenue and expenditure of the government. Total revenue and expenditure of the government, or it explains the total revenue and expenditure of the government and how they are allocating or how they are adjusting each other. How the government is adjusting revenue and expenditure to meet the maximum, to meet the desired result or to solve the problem of the country. That's expenditure, public finance and expenditure. Next one we can say that tax, it is also another important thing which you should understand. Tax. Tax is a compulsory payment made by the people, citizen or individual or other corporate to the government to meet the expenditure of the government. Tax is a compulsory payment made by an individual to the government to meet their expenditure. Tax, it is a compulsory payment. Mainly we can divide it tax into two types. That is direct tax, direct or direct tax. Second, indirect or indirect tax. Both will pronounce. Direct tax and indirect tax. We can say what is direct tax. In the case of direct tax, the person on whom the tax is imposed should pay the tax directly. They cannot transfer that amount. They cannot shift that amount of taxation. The person on whom the tax is imposed is liable to pay his tax to the government. That is called direct tax. For example, income tax, individual income tax is an example of direct tax. Corporate tax is also another example of this direct tax. Corporate tax is also another example of direct tax. So, direct tax tax can be divided into two. One is direct and the second is indirect. In the case of direct tax, the person on whom the tax is imposed should pay that tax directly to the government. It cannot be shifted or it cannot be transferred. That is called a direct tax. Next one is that the indirect tax. Indirect tax. What is the meaning of indirect tax? Indirect tax is a tax when the tax can be transferred. When tax can be transferred, the person on whom the tax is imposed can be transferred to some other individual, some other persons. It is called indirect tax. For example, the government imposes taxes on manufacturers at the time of producing a commodity. The government imposes tax on manufacturers while producing a commodity. What the manufacturer will do? Manufacturer will automatically or they will pass that tax to the wholesale dealers, wholesale traders, or they will shift or they will transfer that tax to the wholesale dealers. The wholesale dealers will again shift or transfer that tax to the retailers or retail dealers. So lastly, the retailers will transfer or the retailers will shift that tax to the consumer, that is ultimate consumer. So the burden of that tax fell upon the consumer. They are the ultimate sufferers. The ultimate sufferers of that indirect tax is the consumers. That's why whenever the government is imposing more tax, more indirect tax, definitely the price of commodities will be increased, though the worst sufferers are the consumers. That is the difference between direct and indirect. But nowadays the government has already just introduced a few years back, the government has already introduced the GST, goods and service tax. That means same tax was imposed on all commodities. Most of the, except there are only few exempted commodities, say liquor, petrol and some other commodities are exempted. All other taxes should be the same in India, throughout India. So the government has already imposed or introduced a GST tax, GST, that means the goods and service tax is called the GST. So all over India we can see the same tax for most of the commodities, GST. So we can say that tax, direct and indirect. Next one is that public finance, the growth of public, what is public finance? It explains the government revenue and government expenditure, and how that expenditure and revenue are already adjusted to get the maximum result for the society. The government expenditure is increased for the last few years because there are many works which is to be undertaken by the government. For example, construction of roads and canals, railways, bridges, dams, then some other hospitals, government hospitals, and moreover agricultural development, industrial development, socio-economic overheads also. These are the reasons for the increase of this government expenditure or public expenditure. Next, tax again. Tax is a compulsory payment made by a person or a company or a corporate to the government to meet the expenditure of the government. Because the government is doing all their expenditure or activity only through getting the tax. Tax is the main source. Main source of income is tax. There are some other things also, but main source is tax. So it is a compulsory payment made by the government. It is a compulsory payment made by an individual to the government. Tax can be divided into two. One is direct tax and another is indirect tax. In case of tax, we can see there are different slabs: progressive tax, proportional tax, regressive tax, etc. But in India, we have adopted the progressive tax rate. Progressive. What is meant by this progressive? When the total income of an individual is increased, the percentage of tax which they should pay will also be increased. The slab, that's a slab based. That means when the total income of an individual is increased, the tax which they should pay will also be increased. The percentage of tax which they should pay will also be increased. It is called as progressive. That is introduced in India because in order to make an equality among the society, the government has already introduced a progressive tax rate, progressive taxation. Next, we can see another thing is that a budget. It is a financial statement about by anticipated expenditure and income. It is a financial statement of the government which shows the anticipated expenditure and anticipated income. It is a financial statement by expecting the total revenue, total income of the government and the total expenditure of the government. That is called as budget. It is a financial statement. It deals or it explains or it forecasts the anticipated income and expenditure which the government meets. That is called as budget. Based on that thing, many things are done. What are the importance of what is the objective of this budget? What is the objective? Firstly, finance. I told you that the government has to undertake various expenditure. Sometimes it has to reduce the inequality. Sometimes it has to redistribute the income, and sometimes it decides to establish an equality or to avoid an inequality in society. It is one objective, to reallocate the resources in a better position, or better manner. The main objective is that to reallocate the resources for better socio-economic progress. Government is doing everything for the progress of society. It is a welfare state. So sometimes the government, moreover, it is the duty of a government to make an equality in society. So the main objective of this budget is to reallocate their existing resources to get economic growth, to make a socio-economic progress. That is another one thing. Next one is that the government always likes to make a stability, economic stability in the country. Sometimes there may be ups and downs. Sometimes there may be fluctuation, economic fluctuation in the country. Economic fluctuation may be there. What is economic fluctuation? Fluctuation, ups and downs may be there. Sometimes inflation will be there. Sometimes deflation will be there. Sometimes depression will be there. Sometimes booms will be there. Sometimes recession will be there. Sometimes recovery will be there. All these things are ups and downs of a trade cycle. Trade cycle is very important things in economics. So the government wants to make a stability in the country. So this budget is very important to make a stability, or the main objective of the one of the main objectives of this budget is to make a stability. First one is that to reallocate the existing resources for the betterment of society. Next one, to redistribute the wealth and to make a equality, or to reduce inequality. To redistribute the wealth, to reallocate the wealth. That's another thing. So, but budget also we can see that there are three types of budget. We can see three types of budget. One is called as this surplus budget. Surplus, you know the meaning of surplus, excess or large surplus. Next one is that deficit budget. Next one is that balanced budget. Surplus, deficit, balanced. What is surplus? When the total income, when the anticipatory income of the government is higher than the anticipatory expenditure, it is called a surplus budget. When the anticipatory income, or when the anticipatory revenue of the government is higher than the anticipatory expenditure, it is called as a surplus budget. It is surplus or over. The government is anticipating more revenue, or the government is expecting more income. So surplus budget, surplus, excess. Don't forget. Next one, balanced budget. Balanced. What's balanced? You know the meaning of balance. Same, equal. When the anticipated expenditure is equal to anticipated income, it is called as balanced budget. When the anticipated expenditure is equal to anticipated income, it is called as this balanced budget. Next, the third one we can see deficit budget. Deficit means below, short, not equal. This is called a deficit budget. That meaning is implied in that term itself, deficit budget. Three types. One is surplus, then balanced budget, then deficit. In the case of deficit budget, the anticipated expenditure of the government is higher than the anticipated income. The anticipated expenditure of the government is higher than the anticipated income. That is called as this deficit budget. So these are the three types of budget. Firstly, deficit, then balanced, firstly surplus, second balanced, second deficit budget. So sometimes there are many drawbacks for this deficit budget. If the government is following this deficit budget, it will create so much repercussion or so much consequence in the country, because we had to borrow. If there is deficit in the budget, the government can borrow from other country, or the government can borrow from other institution, or the many really the liability or obligation of the government will be increased. It is not good for the society, because it will increase inflation, it will increase money supply. So deficit budget is not at all good, that up to a certain extent government can follow, especially during a developing country. Then next one is that I told you balanced, and next one is that balanced and surplus, deficit and balanced budget. So all these things. Then you can see that revenue account. Main revenue account is one is revenue receipt is there. Revenue receipt, the revenue which they are getting. Revenue receipt and non-tax revenue. And this revenue account we can divide it to revenue receipt. The main revenue receipts are tax revenue and non-tax revenue. I told you what are the different types of tax. One is that direct and indirect. So the government is getting revenue through tax, through direct tax and through indirect tax, through direct tax and through indirect tax. Then non-tax revenue means the government is getting some profit from railway, or some income from railway or some other public undertakings. So it is called as this non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue. So then next one is that Revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure is another thing. Revenue expenditure. That means sometimes government has to spend some money for this various programs, social programs. Government decided programs will be there, many programs will be there. So at that time the expense will be, there will be expense. Then there are some other non-planned expenditure. Non-planned expenditure means the defense expenditure, law and order, etc. The government is spending some amount for law and order, defense expenditure, etc. That is included in non-planned expenditure. Planned expenditure, it comes some economic activity for the construction of some things. The government, the central government and state government, they are doing some activity, they are spending some amount for the welfare of people, and for some other schemes, local bodies, government or local bodies, they are spending some amount for making some expense. It is called, this is planned expenditure. There may be some schemes, some government schemes will be there. So the government has to spend some money. That is called this planned expenditure. Another one is non-planned expenditure, comes defense, law and order, etc. Non-planned expenditure. These are the important things which you should understand today. Once more I have told you that firstly public finance, it is an important branch of economics. It is a branch of economics. Then public expenditure, what is the total, it explains the total revenue and the total expenditure of the government and how it is allocated each other to get the maximum desired result. It is called as public expenditure. There are many reasons for increasing that public expenditure. I told you that. That means government has to undertake many programs. In order to meet that programs, the government is spending a huge amount. For example, railway, construction of railway, road transport, dams, hospitals, canals, etc. are some important works which the government should undertake. So the government should spend more amount. So public expenditure is increased. Next, agricultural development is also another important thing. Government is spending a huge amount for the increase or for the improvement of agriculture purpose. Then industrial progress is also another thing. The government has to spend a huge amount for this industrial purpose also. All these things, road transport, everything I have already told you. So what are the causes of public? What are the causes of the growth of public expenditure? What are the causes of growth of public expenditure? That I told you. Next one, budget I told you. It is a financial statement of the government. It is an anticipatory expenditure and anticipatory revenue. It is an anticipatory, government anticipates the total revenue and the total expenditure. And after that, how it is adjusted to get the maximum result. That is called as this budget. It is a financial statement, the future income and receipt. Budget are three types: deficit budget, surplus budget, and then balanced budget. I told you. Deficit, surplus, balanced. I told you. Deficit is when the income is lower and the revenue or income is lower than expenditure. It is called a deficit or short. That is next one, balanced. Both are equal. Income and expenditure are equal. Next, surplus. Revenue or income is higher than expenditure. That is called surplus. These are three types. Next, tax I told you, direct and indirect. One is direct. Direct tax cannot be transferred to other person. The person on whom the tax is imposed should pay the government directly. It is called a direct tax. For example, personal income tax, corporate tax, etc. are the examples of this direct tax. Next one is indirect, is a commodity tax. Indirect, commodity tax and service tax are an example of this indirect tax. In the case of indirect tax, the government imposes tax on manufacturers. The manufacturers are shifting that tax to the wholesale merchants. Wholesale merchants are again shifting that to the retail merchants. Again, they are shifting to the ultimate consumers. Though the ultimately the tax fell upon the consumers. They are the waste sufferers. But now the government has already fixed, they are already implemented law. That means GST is implemented, except some other all commodities, the tax for all commodities should be same, except some. Some are exempted. Liquor, petrol, etc. are exempted. So all these are the points which you should remember. Today I am just stopping. You read all these things. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe.